Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Tudhoe, right here in County Durham.
St Charles is Roman Catholic. I thought it just said St Mary's.
Today I'm taking a short walk around St Charles Church, Tudhoe, County Durham. To the casual observer, it might just look like another beautiful old building, but this place tells a story that goes far deeper than stone and mortar. It is a story of survival, industrial change, and a faith that refused to be silenced. St Charles's stands as a powerful reminder of how Tudhoe transformed during the 19th century. This was a time when the area exploded in size, driven by the roar of mining and ironworking. That industrial boom brought a rising population, new schools, community spaces, and of course, places of worship. We're just outside Spennymoor, just outside Durham City. Tudhoe was pulled into the heart of this regional growth, and this church is the anchor of that history. So the church is officially dedicated to St Charles Borromeo, a towering figure in the Catholic Counter-Reformation. That dedication wasn't accidental, it fits the building's design perfectly. This building was constructed with a strong sense of visibility, directing the eyes straight toward the altar and sanctuary. So my researchers tell me it was designed by J.A. Hansom and Son, the same who gave us the famous Hansom cab. Around 1870, opened its door. Over a decade or so later, it was extended to include the massive tower, the West Bay porch, baptistry, and a gallery. It's a testament to a community that was growing and thriving. So architecturally, this is a striking example of mid-Victorian Gothic revival, built from rock-faced sandstone, giving it a dramatic soaring character. Looking at these steep roofs, the pointed windows, the sturdy buttresses, that tall tower and the spire that dominates the skyline. It's a shame I can't get inside. I say that so often though. I would love to come back and get inside. But if you look at the exterior, you can see how the building was meant to feel grand and uplifting, even though it was serving a local parish community. Yeah, apparently the magic really happens when you step inside. It's supposed to be. You can say that with any church really, but apparently this one's particularly lovely inside. So I'll be coming back, but not going inside today. I just thought I'd have a little bit of a yap. I like Tudhoe. What makes St Charles especially fascinating is that it just wasn't just built for the ordinary rhythm of parish life, it was built for a community with deep, resilient Catholic roots. The Salvin family of Burn Hall played a massive role in supporting this mission. Prominent recusants, a term for those who remained Catholic during times when Catholic worship was strictly restricted. Here in England, Because of families like the Salvins, though, the church links Tudhoe to the long and sometimes difficult story of Catholic survival in the northeast. They were ones who kept the faith alive when it was dangerous to do so. This church here is a legacy of that. There's actually an even older Catholic story tied to this spot. The Tudor era and post-Reformation heritage includes the Tudhoe farm, which goes back to around the 1600s. Legend and history tells us it once had a secret chapel in the loft, a hiding place for priests and worshippers. That background explains why this area became such a vital hub for Catholic education and worship later on. It paved the way for institutions like Tudhoe Academy, which played a pivotal role in the revival of Catholicism in the north. This isn't just a church, it's a culmination of centuries of endurance. By the 1800s, Tudhoe and nearby Spennymoor were changing fast. I mentioned ironworks and the coal mining. These transformed. Literally transformed what had been a quiet rural landscape. Overnight, really, became a bustling working community with new industrial identities. Churches like St. Charles here were the heartbeat of the transformation. They gave local people a place of worship and a sense of identity, as well as a community centre at a time when the population was expanding rapidly. It was a beacon of stability in a world of change. And I'm thinking of Shildon and the railworks and whatnot, not too far up the road there. Yeah, just having a little reflection and a look around here, you can appreciate how carefully it was all planned. But remember, St. Charles isn't just historically significant for Tudhoe. It is widely considered the most important historic building in the locality. That tells you how central it is to the heritage of this village, to the wider Catholic history of County Durham. Yep, County Durham itself has an extraordinary religious past stretching back more than 1400 years. From those early Saxon churches to the great medieval tradition of Durham Cathedral, St. Charles belongs to that massive landscape of faith, survival and rebuild. It is both local and regional, a parish church in Tudhoe, but also a chapter in the broader story of the North East. And that's what makes this place so special to me. It's not only a beautiful church, but it stands as a witness to Catholic endurance, industrial change, local patronage, and the growth of Tudhoe. So we are reminded, aren't we? Isaiah 2:3. Isaiah says, "Come on, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, and he will teach us his ways." And honestly, villages like Tudhoe did that for generations. Men came out the pit black with coal dust, and still came here looking for light. It's laughing at him. And thinking of mining and light imagery, and we are reminded, aren't we, of John 1:5. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. That feels made for County Durham, for Tudhoe. The coal dust, the hardship, the strikes, all that grief, and still the light stayed on in places like this. And we are reminded, aren't we? Ecclesiastes 3:2, a time to be born and a time to... I don't want to say the word. Alright, so St. Charles Borromeo, Tudhoe. Proof that England's smallest churches often carry its biggest stories. And as St. John wrote, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it.
Well,
And in old mining villages like this, County Durham, you can still feel that light.